Okay, now, for today, I want to take a step back, take about 3-4 steps back, and let you know why I teach you English instead of anything else. I teach you guys because I love you guys and I really like being around you, but why English? So, this was me when I turned, really quick guess, how old am I here?
18.
Huh?
18.
Not quite 18, a little more than 18.
19.
20. Nope, 20. I was 20. Okay, so this is, I was at the University of San Diego. 20 candles on the cake, and we were celebrating. Sophomore year in college. I was taking a class called Composition and Literature, which is the, it was going to be the only English class I was going to take in college at all. Wasn't going to do it. Wanted to study history. But when we went to Comp and Lit, we read a book called Notebook of a Return to the Native Land about a place called Martinique. Can anyone tell me where on the map Martinique is? I have $5 for you if you can tell me where Martinique is. Maya?
Africa?
Africa, no. Yep.
In Asia.
No.
Not India.
No.
Oh.
One more, the last try. Yep.
Europe?
No. Okay, Martinique. Martinique, tiny, itty-bitty island in the Caribbean.
Hey.
Right there. I know. Now, it looks beautiful, right?
Okay.
It is a volcano. Now, thing you'll learn, one of the paradoxes of the world that we live in, is that places that look like this, places that are beautiful, are oftentimes, if it looks like paradise, it's probably hell for the people who live there. So, when we open up this book, Notebook of Return to the Native Land, it's this long poem that lasts about 70 pages. It was originally written in French because Martinique was a French colony. I read it translated in English, and when I read it, it was about this guy he was a black man born in Martinique, a nation that's mostly black. He goes to France to study in college, comes back, and then when he comes back from studying in Paris, he takes a look around, and he's just disgusted by the conditions that his family and his people have to live in. And I have this quote here. I'm sorry, I thought it was going to be bigger, but it's not, so I'm going to read it to you. And I want you thinking about, this is a man who has gone, seen the world, come back to his home, and this is what he has to say. He says, "And again I would say, my mouth shall be the mouth for those calamities that have no mouth. My voice the freedom for those who break down in the prison holes of despair. And on the way I would say to myself, and above all, my body as well as my soul, beware of assuming the sterile attitude of a spectator." Real quick, what's a spectator?
Someone that walked over.
Yeah, watching. Somebody who's just sitting and watching, yeah. Not the person playing the game. Beware the sterile attitude of the spectator, for life is not a spectacle. A sea of miseries is not a proscenium. A man screaming is not a dancing bear. What do you think it means by that? A man screaming is not a dancing bear. What do you think, Tyrone? Sure. You not sure? So, dancing bear makes me think circus, right?
Mm-hmm.
A man screaming, somebody suffering, isn't something to sit and watch. Oh, hold on a minute, real quick. Real loud. What you say? Come on, we all learn from you. What you say?
I'm saying that from, like, it's serious instead of sitting there watching and acting like serious from study.
Yeah. And so I was sitting there in class, and I was learning about this place that I'd never been, not from seeing pictures, not from learning about the government, but by hearing it right from the mouth of a man who lived it. I got to see that and see what his life was like. Now, why I choose to teach that to you guys, yes ma'am?
I want to ask you about what it had said. It had said my mouth, and my mouth shall be the mouth of those calamities
That
that
have.
they have no mouth and my voice, the freedom of those who break down.
Yeah.
in
So,
the
yeah.
prison.
Calamity, you know what a calamity is? It's like something terrible that happens, like some big mess that was made. So he's going to speak up for the things that he thinks need to be spoken up for. Now, why I teach you English? One is that I want you to be able to pick up a book like this and be as inspired as I was when I read this. 2, I want you to be able to be the mouth for those calamities that have no mouth. I want you to be able to, eyes over. I want you to be able to speak up about the things that need fixing in your world. I want you to be able to get up, stand up, not give up the fight, stand up for your rights, hashtag Bob Marley, be able to make the changes you want to make in your world. And it starts by being able to communicate ideas and say when we agree or disagree with something that somebody's written. So that's what we're going to be doing when we look at this text today. What is the author saying? Do we agree with it or disagree with it? And why? Now, somebody, a quick reminder, what was the, with a hand, our article yesterday was about what? With a hand. Jan? Loud enough for everybody.
People getting bad.
Prejudice, okay. And it was more specific than that, though. What about prejudice? Jason?
About supporting, giving the social media, about supporting people through social media.
Yeah, right. And anything to add, Smash? So it was about not being a spectator, right? Standing up and saying something or supporting somebody when they need that support. Now, today's title, can you read the title for me loud and proud, please, Selena? Oh, the title, please. I'm sorry.
How silence can breed
Prejudice. Yeah, how silence can breed prejudice. Okay, now, just like yesterday, we're going to read through it, and when we read a paragraph, we want to annotate that central idea so that we can make sure that we understand it as we're going and formulate a good whole of what the author's talking about. So all we need right now is this article. We don't need our papers right now. Ready to annotate in that right-hand margin. Please start us off with paragraph number 1 for me. Daryl.
Me, a white woman married to a black man. Several years ago, a friend, 6 years old, son Jake, met my husband for the first time. He looked at me and then at my husband as if puzzled by what he saw, and then asked, "But if you're white and he's dark brown, why did you marry me?" His mother was notably
Mortified.
by the question. She exclaimed, "Jake," and then whispered, "I'm sorry too."
What did mortified mean? Mortified? Anybody? Terrified? Terrified. Shocked. She's like, oh my. So what I want us to do is in the right-hand margin, please, what is the central idea of that paragraph? It's mostly about. Take 30 seconds and then we'll get a couple answers. Try to formulate one together. So 30 seconds. All right, what did you have? We're going to start off with one thought, and then we'll build on it from there. What do you got to start us off with, please, Sean? Scared? Okay, so the lady was like had that shocked, scared feeling, but where did that come from? What made that lady go? What can we? What made her feel that, Sean? Well, help. Yeah, so help. Maya, help out, please.
The little boy G had asked a racist question to the lady.
Yeah, what was the question?
He said that, but if you're white and he's dark brown. Why did you marry him?
Yeah. So the 6-year-old asks why this interracial couple is married. Why a white woman married a black man. And then I might add something quickly about what was the mother's response after that? How did the mother respond, please? How did the mother respond, Jan? She was, yeah, I was going further, so she was shocked. Okay. Little boy asks a question. Mom is shocked that he even asked it. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's go move on to the second paragraph. Please read it for us, Jan. Sufficient.
Who reading?
Okay. So take a second. What I want you to do is, hey, if at any time someone's reading aloud, you should be reading along too, no matter what. Make sure, because just hearing it won't help us grow as much as hearing it and reading it together.
Okay.
And if we're reading, make sure that we're speaking up loud enough for everybody. Here's what I want us to do. I want you to turn to your partner. Formulate, I want to see which pairing can formulate the best central idea for paragraph 2. We're going to be pretty quick with it though, and take only 40 seconds. 40 seconds, turn to your partner, main idea, central idea, go! Oh, pause, eyes over here. When we're with our partners, we read it once. I want us to talk about what we read, so that we can come up with a central idea. We need to reread it again?
Yeah.
Okay, first take 20 seconds, read it again, then we'll do the turn talk. 20 seconds. Go.
20 seconds.
Yeah. First, just read it again. So we're going to talk about it in a second. All right, now turn to your partner. Come up with a central idea. And Gabrielle immediately turned and talking to the partner.
I'm done reading. See which parent can come up with the best one. Color doesn't matter.
I don't see a central idea.
Yeah, you guys want? I thought the boy asked that question.
Once you guys have talked about it, write it down. Once you talked about it, write it down. All right, I'm gonna call on a couple different people, so be ready. I'm taking hands.
Color.
We all had a chance. Nah. Okay. So, when the first person goes, remember we want those snaps of magic. Also, be ready to add anything that you think was super important if they missed it. So, be listening to whoever goes first so that we can point out anything that might be missing. What did you have